She snuck up on you. All right, what are we doing on Miss Simpson?
Judge, we reached an agreement today for Ms. Simpson's motion to be withdrawn, and she continued on supervision with the added condition of her being placed on the intensive supervised probation docket. Additionally, Judge, they also amended for finances. So her total financial obligations are going to be $5,094. Um, and that first payment we made the first day of June. I spoke to her about her living situation. She does have uh, reliable transportation. Additionally, she has several places that she can stay, get her feet underneath her, and she also has a couple of job opportunities lined up that she hopes to take advantage of once she gets out.
Are we going to be able to avoid any future motions? Are we in a good position to not have any concerns about that going forward?
Judge, I believe so. Without going into too much detail, Ms. Simpson had a rough couple of months um, that resulted into someone very close to her dying, and I think that after 9 years of being sober, it just it kind of wrecked her life. She's dealt with some mental health issues as well as she's dealing with some other stuff outside the criminal justice system. Um, and I think after talking to her, she fully understands the chance that this is, the responsibility that it is, as well as the fact that she's on notice that if she's unable to be successful, then she faces the full range of punishment when she comes back before this court.
All right, Ms. Simpson, if you'll raise your right hand, I'm going to place you under oath. Ma'am, do you swear that the testimony you give to the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can lower your hand. And Mr. Manning, I'm assuming that probation has been consulted and they approve and want Ms. Simpson placed back into their custody?
Judge, that is correct. In speaking to Ms. Burns, we consulted everyone that needed to be consulted, and they are supportive of this plea based off of Ms. Simpson's responsibility, taking responsibility for her actions and her missteps while she was on probation.
Okay. All right, Ms. Simpson, in this case, you're represented by your attorney, Mr. Manning. Are you pleased with Mr. Manning and the work he's done?
Yes, sir.
You feel like you've had enough time to talk with him about your motion and that you've had all of your legal questions answered?
Yes, sir.
You understand the nature of the agreement today?
Yes, sir.
You understand that if the court grants the state's motion to withdraw and we amend your community supervision, that you're going to have additional obligations, additional financial obligations for new attorney fees, court costs. You're going to have additional obligation for intensive supervision, and that might be more strenuous than what you were facing before. You do understand that?
Yes, sir.
And are you making this agreement because this is what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
And
Absolutely.
has anybody threatened, forced, or pressured you to make this agreement?
No.
And you, Mr. Manning's been arguing on your behalf, everything that he said regarding your ability to comply in the future. Do you believe all of what he said to be true?
Yes.
And so are things going to be different for you going forward?
Yes.
Can you just briefly tell me how they're going to be different?
Um, like you said, I really went through a lot of things the last few months before I went to jail. Sorry. Um, honestly, after 8 years of I've been on probation for almost the whole 10 years, and I know where I mess up. And really it's people. My main goal is to get out of Van County and get away from out here. I know that's probably a lot of people's, but even my probation officer is Larry. Even he said like my best thing for me to do is to get out of here, which I was trying, and then everything happened to me all at once, and I decided that I would be okay if I just go hang out with certain people, and I'm just not. I'm just not okay. Um, I do have the job lined up. I do have all of these things that I was working towards when my spouse died, and that's when I went into the probation office. I did ask Larry for help. It was a little too late. Obviously, I had already lost pretty much everything that I had worked so hard for, and so I just sorry. I don't know. I want to get the help. I want to get the mental help. I want to get the counseling. Like I want to get my son back, you know, so.
And Judge, if I may, that was one thing I forgot to, no, you're fine, you're fine. One thing I forgot to point out also is she does have appointments, that have already been, ordered and set up for the Andrews Center. So that'll be one of the things that's top of her list, that we've talked about is, getting that mental health, treatment. She's not been receiving that here in the jail, and that has taken a toll, on her emotionally and mentally. And so, I think she understands what's laid before her. The question is if she chooses to do it. I think if the past 9 years has been any indication, she can do it. If she is, set her mind to it and she has the proper tools in place. And as you heard from her, she recognizes where her dangers are, her pitfalls are. I think I'm confident that she can conquer those.
Is she looking at expiring this
Next
year?
year,
Next year?
Judge.
Okay. Well, I guess when did she get on? She get on in 2015?
March 2015.
Okay. So that's not that long from now. So that's either a very short time in which to get through it, or it's a very short time in which to make up a lot of ground. So I'm not sure which one you're having to face, but I'm sorry that you've gone through some of your personal losses. I can understand how that could tempt you to do things to either, handle your own self-anxiety or things of stress. I understand that, but I always hear, and Mr. Gann's right. If there's certain groups that you can't be around, and the only way that you can not be around them is to move away, then yeah, you may have to do that. But I'll also tell you that I've lived in Van Zandt County my entire life, and I've never been tempted to do drugs or do any of those things. And it's not because those people aren't around. It's just because I don't choose to be around those people. If I went out looking for it or allowed myself to be around it, then yeah, I might have the same problems that you do. So location doesn't mean anything. It's an individual decision. It's an individual choice and action. So I know that it may be hard to remove yourself from if it's family or close friends, but if you don't remove yourself from those situations, you're going to find yourself in a situation you can't be removed from, and that's going to be locked down in prison. And if you're locked down in prison, you're not going to be getting your son back and making, these progressions that you need to in your life. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, court, you're welcome. The court grants the state's motion to withdraw. The court will continue Miss Amber Simpson on community supervision. The court places her on the intensive supervision program and amends her financial obligations, including new attorney fees and court costs. All right, Miss Simpson, just get to work and finish
Yes,
out
sir.
the last, whatever you got, 7, 8, 9 months, and move on with your life in a positive direction.
Thank you.
You're welcome.